Welcome here to Edmonton International Raceway. My name is Clint Jeffrey. I'll be joined by Adam Ross, who we just saw trackside performing driver introductions. It's been a great day here at the Raceway. Hot, sunny today. Track conditions have been absolutely picture perfect. And as we wait for Adam to get up, we'll talk a bit about some of the stuff that's gone on. Most recent race for this tour was at the Toronto Indy, where Kevin Lacroix picked up the win and took over the point lead in what's been a very tight battle so far this year. We've got 20 cars here today. A couple of them from the West Coast, so that's awesome to see some local drivers in on the play. And, of course, all the big players here in the NASCAR Pinty Series have made their way west to compete in a three-race series out here. They'll start tonight at Edmonton International Raceway for the Bear 300. And then we'll move on to Wednesday to Saskatoon, and it will be the Twin 125s, brought to you by Leland Industries. So Twin 125s coming up Wednesday, one 300-lapper here tonight in the Bear 300. Once again, drivers just getting strapped in. We wait for the command to fire engines in just about a minute or two's time. They've just finished anthems here, as we saw on the stream, and we'll be ready to go racing here in just a couple of moments' time. This is a tight, small bull ring. Lap times are around 12 seconds, so it shows you how quickly they're getting around this track. You really have to be able to roll the center, which you're going to see them putting the power down all the way down the straightaways and really kind of just letting it coast through the corners until they can pick it up. I got talking to a couple of drivers today, and one thing they were telling me is that, they realize they really have to roll the bottom here. If they're on the gas, it's leaning too much on the right, and if they're even trying to feather it through the turns, it's burning up that right front and the right rear. So they're really trying to let these cars roll through the center as we get a good look at the field, making final preparations, getting the window net up, and we'll be ready for the command in just a moment. Adam Ross will take it back over. Once he's got these cars fired up, he'll make his way up to the announcing tower with us here, and we'll commence the program and get ready to roll here on what's going to be, we expect to be an exciting race here. Fairly wide turns, lots of room to make moves, and we're going to see who can get it done here. It was great during the driver introductions to see some of these drivers get some great receptions. I mean, it looks like we've got the crew down there assembled and just about ready to give us the command. We expect Adam to jump in here any minute on us and break in. So as you notice up and down, drivers making final, and crews making final preparations. They're putting the window nets up, taping up the window nets, making sure the driver's radio communications are good, make sure he can access the drink because it is a hot one out here today. I can tell just from our announcing position it has cooled off in the shade quite a bit in the last hour here, so we'll see how that changes to these drivers handling on the cars. But these are veterans. They were set up and ready to go to deal with the changes that come on throughout the night. Take a quick look at the point standings as we get into the event here today. Kevin Lacroix leads Marc-Antoine Cameron by just shy 3 markers. And that's another 5 back to Gary Clute, who sits 8 markers out of the point lead. And then you got Alex Tagliani and Trayton Lapsevich in the top 5. Six through 10. DJ Kennington, Brandon Watson, the rookie, LP Dumoulin, Andrew Ranger, and J.P. Bergeron. Good showing for him as a newcomer to the deal here. We are about 30 seconds away from the command to fire engines. Give these cars a couple pace laps, and then we'll be ready to rock. So all the drivers getting ready to go, and we're about 10 seconds away from firing off this race. Once again, live from Edmonton International Speedway, getting prepped for the Bear 300. We'll turn it back down, Adam Ross, to get ready for the command.
Join me in welcoming 2022 Territory Sales Assistant from Northern Alberta, Catherine Meagher, Courtney Cannon, Reed Blasco, Devin Naslin, Natasha Evans,
Well, there we have it. We're just about ready to go here. They will push these cars off the grid and get ready to roll. Teams clearing out. We'll get the dignitaries out of the way. You can see the NASCAR officials directing everyone around. They will pull the cars up, make sure they have all fired and that they can all move under their own power. Then once they've made sure everybody's good to go, they'll roll off the pace truck, or I should say pace car, and get things rolling here. What a great sound as the cars rumble to life here. As we look at the upcoming schedule, we mentioned earlier we are here at Edmonton International Raceway for the Bear 300 today. Then Wednesday we'll move on to Twin 125s for the Leland Industries. Twin 125s at Sutherland Automotive Speedway in Saskatoon. Then they head back to Quebec for Les 60 Tours Russell Medal for the GP3R Grand Prix Trois Rivières event on Sunday, August 7th. Then they move over to the dirt, first time ever for this series at Ohsweken Speedway on Tuesday, August 16th. Then back to ICAR, August 27th. Then Canadian Tire Motorsport Park following that around September 4th. And then Delaware Speedway for the finale, Sunday, September 25th. Cars starting to roll off here, and we get ready to go as they roll past our broadcast position. We'll get ready to welcome Adam Ross back to the booth with us. Adam, great job down trackside. This is quite the perspective we have for our viewpoint here. These cars are the closest we've ever been to them for racing, and it's awfully loud right now, and we haven't even fired them up yet.
No, we're right in the middle of the action, Clint. I love the vantage point we have here down in turn number 1. Because we're looking the length of the racetrack, we really get to see what these cars are doing, and trust me, handling is going to be an issue.
Well, we are right near the camera 2 perch, like 4 feet from it. So when we give you that view, we'll point out like that's where we're watching from, and you'll be able to see it. This is where we are. This is the view we're watching from. That's pretty much right where we are, a few feet back from the wall. And Adam, predictions on today?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings tonight. I predict that, Clint. I think tonight's going to be the kind of racetrack that Brandon Watson will really excel on.
You know what's funny? I was talking with our truck crew here earlier, and we had the same conversation. I said if the car runs well and he has a solid day without any problems, Brandon Watson could be a car to watch here today, Adam.
He's got the right temperament, Clinton. He understands what it takes on these tight racetracks. And I think he's going to have a good night. But what's crazy about this, number 1, this is the biggest crowd we've ever had out here in Edmonton. They have added those grandstands. And when you add a section of grandstands and half fill it, that's great success. Hospitality suites have been sold out for a long, long time. That adds to the excitement. These drivers are excited to be here. 1 to go.
Yeah, and we're talking about how short of a track this is. They're turning laps in about 12 seconds. It happens fast here.
No pit stops anticipated here tonight. There will be a halfway break. So if you've got to go down pit road, you're going to have a tough night. It's a unique pit road because they pit on the right side and the left side of the street. But it is time to go racing. Alex Tagliani on the inside and the ultra-aggressive Kevin Lacroix on the outside in the number 74.
All right, pace car getting ready to make the hard left to the infield pit road. We're ready to go. Tagliani and Lacroix, the point there on the outside. Bring us to the green, Adam.
Alex Tagliani waiting for green flag to be displayed. It is out, and what a launch for Alex Tagliani. He gets down into turn number 1. He'll clear Kevin Lacroix. Lacroix's going to settle into second. I don't know if that was orchestrated, but the top 3 did exactly what they wanted. Get single file and start clicking off laps.
DJ Kennington will pull up into the 3rd position, and right away Marc-Antoine Cameron and the 9 of Watson jumping down, and we see a yellow on the tow truck, Adam, but I don't think that is actually a yellow, right?
No yellow flag. They'll get the lights out on that tow truck. Raphael Lessard loses a couple of spots right now. Andrew Ranger still hung up on the outside. He's working the outside of Andrew Ranger and Donald Teach. That's a tough place to be early in the going.
Yeah, Ranger stuck up on that outside groove, trying to find the way back to the bottom, can't quite make it work as we get a big backfire. And Lacroix looking on Tagliani, gets into him into turn number 1.
Little bit of contact as Tagliani closes the door firmly. Lacroix goes up over the rumble strips. He's going to make that pass. DJ Kennington, he's a veteran. He knows when the door gets open, you've got to follow him through. So Kennington looks like he's going to take over P2.
Kennington will stick that shoe in the door, not allow tags to close it. And here comes Marc-Antoine Cameron, arguably the fastest driver over the course of the season, Adam. Been running great, dominating a lot of races, not getting the wins he wants, but still a fast car for that new team.
Yeah, Marc-Antoine Cameron, lightning quick in the 96. Alex Tagliani was fortunate. Cameron cut him a little bit of a break. He let him back in line. But up front, Kevin Lacroix and DJ Kennington setting a great pace out there.
Trayton Lapsevich in.
Oh, trouble. JP Bergeron goes around in turn number 4.
And that will be a yellow.
I'm amazed we haven't gone yellow.
Yeah.
Where's he going to go?
They're not throwing a yellow. He's stuck down on pit road and going to go down laps.
I can only imagine Ron Easton, his crew chief, Dave Jacobs, his car runner, because he's in first gear right now. JP Bergeron in first gear, second gear. He'll grab third gear. The flagman's waving him to get going. I'd be waving back at the flagman myself with only one finger.
Yeah, shocked that didn't cause yellow, but I guess they felt he was down clear out of the way, that they didn't need to now. He's trying to get rolling. He had to have lost at least 1 lap.
Yeah, he's almost down his second lap right now, but fortunately for Bergeron, he was able to keep the car fired and get going, but that was a precarious position.
DJ Kennington now on the back bumper of the Lacroix Tuning ESR 74 of the point leader. Got the nose down on the inside. Whoa, he had to get on the brakes there to avoid getting into the left rear of the leader.
You got to remember, this is racing like DJ Kennington grew up on. He cut his teeth on tight bull rings. He used to travel to St. Eustache every Saturday. He'd run Delaware Friday, St. Eustache Saturday. This is his type of joint.
You know, when you bring up Delaware, Adam, look at the inside rumble strips. It's a lot like Delaware. You know, the turns to the inside are exactly like Delaware. A rumble strip, a bit of runoff, and he's comfortable laying that left rear on it.
And you can really affect the handling of the car by working those rumble strips. As Cameron to the inside of Alex Tagliani, Brandon Watson going to try to sneak through as well. And the field is closing in on some of the back markers. JP Bergeron, he is fast enough to be where he is ahead of the leaders, but the 3 or 4 cars ahead of them, not quite as quick. And problem for Brian Cathcart, he goes way up the track, and Glenn Stiers in the 0 is faster than Chantel Kalika in the 43. He's given her a couple of bumps, but not enough to really move her just yet.
You know, I got to talk to Glenn earlier today, and he told me after qualifying, the crew finally realized what his driving mistake has been. He's gone the gas going through the turns when you really have to roll it. And he said, I'm feathering the throttle, and what I'm doing is I'm heating up that right front. I'm burning up my tires, and I don't need to be. He said, so I expect to see a different Glenn Stiers today. He said, I found the mistake I've been making all season long today.
Glenn Stiers, Canadian Motorsports Hall of Famer, because of his prowess as a dirt sprint car driver. You have to be on the throttle to make a dirt sprint car turn. These stock cars are different. You want to let them roll.
That's exactly what he said. He goes, in my sprint car, I got to be on it. And now he's on it because JP Bergeron on his back bumper. He's got around Kalika, who's hung up on the outside as the leaders funnel by.
And I'll tell you, that's one of the first passes for position Glenn Stiers has made this year, showing a lot of speed, a lot of poise. Bergeron is right behind him, and Alex Tagliani has damage to the front end of that number 18.
I just caught that as he went by. Now Mark Dilley on the back bumper, and Dilley knocking on Tag's rear door here, and the nose is down on Tagliani's machine. Doesn't appear to be a big issue out of it if it holds like that. But if the wind grabs him or he makes any more contact, he could be looking at a black flag.
JP Bergeron gives the bumper to Glenn Stiers. He'll look to the inside. Stiers makes a nice save. Here goes Brandon Watson to the inside of Cameron. There is a lot going on right now.
Leaders all over the back door of the GSR 0 as Lacroix tries to get around the outside of the rookie Hall of Famer as they work down the backstretch. Kennington also up on the outside, and here comes Watson, Cameron, Clute, and the 20 of Lapsevich.
JP Bergeron sends it down into the corner, but still has to avoid the 0 of Stiers. He's in a bad spot right now. He is now down 2 laps. It's going to be a tough night for Bergeron.
And had that yellow come out, it would have been a better situation. Obviously, he would have been on the tail end of the lead lap, but look at this pack of cars. The leaders are having to contend with. Cathcart is now up in front of zero, gets into the back of him. Bergeron on the back, they're all loose off of 4.
Cameron was giving some bumps to Brandon Watson going through the turn, but there was nowhere for him to go. And that we knew it was going to be like this tonight, Clinton. We knew there was going to be a lot of traffic. These drivers were going to be busy.
Lacroix, Kennington, Cameron, Watson, and Clute are the top 5. A good distance between the top 2, and then about 8 car lengths back to the 96.
Still the battles to watch are that lap traffic with cars going to the outside of the slower traffic. Now we've got 2 lap down cars side by side, right in front of Andrew Ranger in the 27. JP Bergeron, he's trying to get up on the wheel, he can't put himself in the free pass position, in fact.
Dilly around the outside of the 0 car as they try and battle here on our screen. Donald Teach and Raphael Lassard just behind them in the mix as well.
Stiers has to keep the rear tires underneath him. He's overdriving just a little bit right now. He's got to get the car back under him and just relax. It's a long race.
Lacroix, Kennington, Cameron are the top 3. Down into 3 they go. There's a look at the 5th place and battle for 5th. I should say that is Lapsevich trying to take one away here from Gary Clute.
Trayton Lapsevich is what we would call an oval track specialist. Cut his teeth, stock car racing. He's going to make that move to the inside of Gary Clute. Lapsevich trying to break into the top 5, and he does.
Good gap back to Andrew Ranger. Leaders in clean air once again, which will make them happy. Well, once they get around the Kalika 43 leader underneath the machine, and she should be able to just keep out of their way here and not cause the leaders any grief.
Chantel Kalika has really good awareness in the race car. She runs both races out west, but she knows Saskatoon is where she can really compete. They are great, vastly different racetracks.
Can't wait to see when we get over there Wednesday for the doubleheader. Twin 125s presented by Leland Industries. Lacroix, Kennington, Cameron, Watson, and Lapsevich on the top 5. 6 through 10, Clute, Ranger, Dilly, Tags, and Donald Teach.
Now we're going to want to focus a little bit at the tail end of the lead lap where we got Brett Taylor in the number 3, a local driver from Calgary, Alberta, and Jamie Krizik in the 46. Krizik went to the back of the field for the start of this race. He's done a nice job making passes, but now Kevin Lacroix is within a straightaway of those 2 cars.
Battle for second as Marc-Antoine Cameron starting to put heat on the Kennington 17. Down in turn 4 they come. He's got a nose up underneath the Castro Dodge. Can he make it stick? Yeah, it will.
Cameron with a good move on the bottom, giving DJ Kennington plenty of room. Kennington sort of conceded the spot. He'll settle into 3rd. Further back, we got them 3 wide in slower traffic.
Cathcart stuck between Lassard and Teach. He gets out of that hot spot. Still, Tagliani with that damage on the nose out of him hasn't been a problem yet. Not sure if they'll be able to do anything to repair it or just make it worse when he goes in for a pit stop.
Lacroix to the outside of Wallace Stacy to put him down another lap up at turn number 4. Further back, we're watching the battle between Raphael Lassard and LP Dumoulin. They're right behind Alex Tagliani, so a good 3-car tussle.
Our starter getting a workout with the blue flag already today, waving at a lot of cars as these leaders make their way through some of the back markers.
At the front, Marc-Antoine Cameron closing that gap on the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. He got no practice here this afternoon. They had a lot of work they had to do on the race car. So his first laps up to speed was in qualifying, where he put that car in the top 5. Now he races in the 2nd spot and closing in on the lead.
Trayton Lapsevich getting around Brandon Watson. And Lapsevich will go to position 4 here as we get close to 50 in. 3 before the 50 mark. And it is still Kevin Lacroix looking picture perfect up front.
He's holding the pretty wheel right now, and he's closed in on more traffic. Jamie Krizik wants to stay on the lead lap. So does Brett Taylor. They're bottlenecked right now behind the 71 of Brian Cathcart. So Kevin Lacroix has to choose wisely where he's going to go right now with the 74.
Up on the outside is the leader, and he's looking at the battle between Brett Taylor as he tries to get out Krizik and the 71 of Cathcart. Krizik with a big wobble on the inside of the leader.
Brett Taylor needs to go to the outside before Kevin Lacroix gets to him, and I don't think he's going to.
Well,
he's going to give Brian Cathcart a push.
Could shove Cathcart up to the outside too. Same thing.
Oh, he gets to the inside of the 71. That screws up Kevin Lacroix. Here comes Marc-Antoine Cameron on the inside. He's going to pick up the lead.
Cameron with a good move will take it down into turn number 3. Right past the 50 lap mark. He gets the move, puts the nudge on Krizik, and drives away from the Lacroix 74.
Kevin Lacroix did nothing wrong there. It was the aggression of Brett Taylor doing what he needed to do that created that situation. But now Marc-Antoine Cameron knows he's got to keep going. Taylor going to move up to the outside and give room to the leaders.
Cameron on the bottom, getting around the Taylor machine. Lacroix will slip through, and Taylor struggling a bit. He will fade down one lap here in the early going.
We are already 53 laps in, 54 laps into this Bayer 300. Laps are flying by here, but as you said, Clinton, when you're turning under 13-second laps, things will happen in a hurry.
Boy, they sure do. Cathcart still stuck on the bottom as Kennington and Lapsevich work their way by. We look at this battle right now. There's Kennington and Lapsevich trying to get around the Cathcart 71.
Dexter Stacy trying to stay on the lead lap there in the 92. He has got Marc-Antoine Cameron right in his rear view mirror. He goes up the racetrack. That opens the bottom to Cameron.
Marc-Antoine Cameron leading, gets around the Stacy 92, and that brings Lacroix to the rear bumper once again. Starting to close in on the 96. Doesn't need to put heat, but has to stay within reach.
No, and that's just it. This early in the race, you want to keep pace. You want to know how you stack up against the competition.
Adam, let's talk about pit stops, how they work here at Edmonton. What do you know about it?
It's a midway break race, Clinton, so around the lap 150 mark, they are all going to come down pit road. They'll take on tires and fuel in a non-competitive pit stop. So they will come out on the track in the same order they went in.
Right on, thanks for the clarification. As we are still a long way away from that, about 90 laps before the halfway break. And we'll quiet things down and reassess the situation still. Cameron, Lacroix, the class of the field, but Kennington's been in the top 3 since the drop of the green.
Yeah, DJ's just having a DJ Kennington kind of race. Keeping the car clean, he knows what he's got. He'll already be thinking about adjustments he wants to make at the halfway break. He needs to keep, trouble off of turn number 4. I believe that's Wallace Stacy in the 66 who goes around to bring out our first caution of the night.
Backwards out of turn number 4. The 66 of Stacy will get turned around and get ready to go.
So the yellow flag flies for the first time. 64 laps are complete. Marc-Antoine Cameron is the race leader with Kevin Lacroix second in the 74. DJ Kennington is third in the 17. Creighton Lapsevich is fourth in the 20. Brandon Watson is fifth in the number 9. 6th through 10th, Andrew Ranger in the 27. The 59 of Gary Clute, the 47 of LP Dumoulin.
Sorry, Adam.
The 8 of Raphael Lassard and the 10 of Mark Gilly as we have a look at a replay here. Coming off of turn number 4, I'm not sure who Wallace Stacy was racing with or around. All by himself, just kind of lit up the throttle, an innocent spin there, Clinton, and he goes around backwards. Let's keep going through the running order. Raphael Lassard 9th, Mark Gilly 10th in the 64. Alex Tagliani has really dropped back. He's back to 11th in the number 18. Donald T just 12th in the 80. Jamie Krizik is 13th in the 46. I believe all those cars are on the lead lap. Although, No, Jamie Krizik is a lap down. I believe Jamie Krizik will probably get the free pass, and that'll put 13 cars back on the lead lap.
Had a great look at the crowd there too. Fantastic, packed in here to Edmonton International Raceway for the Bear 300. Adam, we talked a little bit about the Toronto Indy. Kevin Lacroix grabbing the win and able to walk away with the point lead after that event. Gary Clute right in there in the mix as well. But the second place machine, you know, so close where we are with the point standings. Marc-Antoine Cameron been the dominant car. He's 3 points behind, and then Clute is 8 points behind. Still anybody's season with a bunch of races still to go.
It really is. It is a wide open championship as we sort out the running order, and they're going to double up the field with one to go.
So we understand we're a little bit light here on the volume. We'll get to work on that for everybody watching at home.
It's very difficult for our sound experts to get things set up because we're in open air right next to the racetrack with a lot of outside noise.
A lot. You hear that car backfire every lap. It's like we're getting shot at.
Beautiful night for racing, though. This is as good as it gets. And Clint, the last two seasons, the series did what it had to do. The teams did what they had to do with the pandemic. It is so nice to be traveling again, a traditional schedule, and the fans have shown up in numbers.
Packed house here today. And that's always good to see. Adam, we talked a bit about how the weather's changing. It was hot and steamy here all day. Now you can tell just as we're in the shade, it's starting to cool off. And the track will be starting to change, getting ready to come back to the green flag.
This is a big restart. Cameron with a good launch on the bottom, and Kevin Lacroix keeps pace. DJ Kennington sticking his nose to the inside of that 74. He wants to take advantage.
Cameron gets out front. Lacroix will follow him, but up on the outside, and there's Kennington, as you mentioned, working on the bottom, trying to keep the 74 pitched up, and Lacroix just started turning left down the back straightaway, but Kennington will hold fast.
A little further back, look at Trayton Lapsovich battling with Gary Clute. The 20 and the 59 side by side. The 8 and the 27 side by side. Raphael Lessard, he picks up some spots. Gary Clute picks up a spot. DJ Kennington trying to do the same.
Brandon Watson stalking the top.
We might have a problem. 64 of Mark Dilley is well off the base out there. He might have a right front tire going soft. He is going to bring out a yellow. He's going to roll to a stop up there on the outside.
I didn't see a flat right front at him when he came by.
It wasn't completely flat. It might have been soft, but there might be damage
that
to
left
the left front.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, I think you're right, Adam. The left front's got issues.
Let's see when
it looks out around or something almost.
He's going to bring it down pit road to the attention of Reno Montanari and the crew. So Mark Dilley has already called. He must think it's a right front issue because that's the tire they're going to work on.
Yeah, I don't see any problems with or anybody going to that left front. Recently made a deal with Dilley and Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell will be driving the 64 at our Schweeken Dirt Race in a few weeks. That's exciting to get those guys into the series. Mark will be taking a car owner role that day.
Free pass. Going to go to Jamie Krizik in that 46. I thought he was the free pass the last time around. This is going to confuse timing and scoring, I think. No, maybe not. They had him a lap down. Somehow they had him on the same lap before through timing and scoring, but he clearly wasn't. Now he'll be on the same lap as he goes around the field. And now we've got a new cast of characters. DJ Kennington going to restart on the outside of the front row. Kevin Lacroix back in third. Brandon Watson fourth. Gary Clute fifth. Trayton Lapsovich sixth. Raphael Lessard seventh. Andrew Ranger eighth. Alex Tagliani ninth. LP Dumoulin rounding out the top 10. Such a tight racetrack. There's inevitably going to be contact. It's traditional short track racing, so these drivers have to keep their calm, even though things inside the cars will get heated.
Tagliani pulling down pit road, as does one of the Stacy cars, the 66 of Wallace. Oh no, that's the Dexter Stacy car.
Tag pulling in, they're making an adjustment. They're going to stick that left front fender back where it belongs. I'm actually surprised they're not trying to rip it off.
Well, like I said, Adam, it didn't look that bad. If they can just tape that upper ear part of it down, it should be okay.
A couple of years ago, we watched Connor James finish on the podium at Sunset. He had knocked the front end off the car. No body work, kept those front tires and the front brakes nice and cool. Cooler than anybody else on the track.
So it was a technical advantage caused by damage is what you're saying.
Because the NASCAR Pinty Series car is like a shoebox. There is not an aerodynamic advantage to the bodies on these cars like there is to a late model or a super late model that you might see at your local short track.
Cameron still the leader here, pacing them under yellow. We are closing in on lap 79 here under caution.
Mark Dilley going around some of the slower traffic as though he's a lead lap car. He is not a lead lap car, so.
And he would not have got the free pass, though, would
No,
he?
He's getting some bonus positions right now. He's using his veteran stature. Okay, now they're getting on him. No, 64, you're a lap down, go to the back. If you don't try, you don't get.
So when he pulled up on the back straightaway out of turn 2, the leaders went by. They did not throw the yellow. That's when he went down the lap.
Because whether it's yellow or green with the NASCAR Pinty Series, every lap counts. The only time they won't count laps is after the halfway break when they come up for their pace laps.
MAC Marc-Antoine Cameron working his way with this lead, picking up where he has in so many other races. Adam, he's dominated a lot of these races across the country so far this year. Only been able to grab one win so far.
Didn't get a lick of practice this afternoon. They had to make some changes to that race car. So this is an impressive display by Marc-Antoine Cameron, crew chief Robin McCluskey, and what a slow march to the restart.
Kennington hard on the gas. He may have a run on the outside. Gets the nose out there on the outside of 2.
DJ Kennington really rolling the top of the racetrack. He'll roll up the outside of the 96 Cameron, trying to nose around. Can he lead at the stripe? He does. The 17 is the leader.
Cameron battling back on the inside. He will lead this up. Oh, they all got across the nose of 74. Lacroix had to lift. Watson kept his foot in it, went to the outside, and Clute had to get out of the gas as well.
That works out for Brandon Watson. It may backfire at this point. He's just trying to find an opening to get back to the racing groove. So right now we're back to the top 3 we started with. Gary Clute doing a good job to run in the 4th spot. He'll clear Brandon Watson, and Rafael Lazard fills the hole in a hurry.
Watson was looking to the outside there to make a move on the 59, and when he did not get back in line soon enough, Lazard filled the gap, and now the number 8 car rolling on the bottom, chasing the 59 of Gary Clute.
Side by side for second, Kevin Lacroix down low, DJ Kennington up high. Gary Clute keeping his front bumper right up on the back end of the 74. He's going to capitalize on this opportunity.
2 wide for 3rd, Clute, Kennington, then 2 wide for 4th and 5th, or 5th and 6th, I should say. Lazard and Watson, and 2 wide behind them. We got a race.
Great battles front to back right now. Kennington gets down in that 4th spot. Brandon Watson just inches away from being able to clear the 8 machine, but Lazard drives it deep into turn number 3, maintains that position.
Cameron gapping Lacroix a little bit now up front, but the battle is the 8 and the 9. Into 3 they go with LP Dumoulin right on the rear bumper.
89 laps complete, so there's still 60 laps before the midway break. Brandon Watson clears the number 8 of Rafael Lazard. Can he close the door? Yes. Watson falls down into that 5th spot.
Lapsevich up on the outside, trying to battle with the defending champ, LP Dumoulin's WeatherTech Dodge. Lapsevich getting the nose out front. Can he come down across the nose of the 74? No, he can't. LP did a great job of filling that gap into 1.
Yeah, he sailed it down into the corners. He knows how important it is. Every position matters out here. Clayton Lapsevich trying to squeeze LP down, but LP really with a good running car on the bottom of the racetrack.
look at DJ Kennington as Brandon Watson starting to put some heat on the rear left corner of the Castrol Dodge. This GMS 9 of Watson has shown some brilliance this year, Adam. You and I have covered him for the last few years. We know what this rookie's got.
He is a talented oval track racer, and he's done well on the road courses as well. So these oval tracks are really where Brandon Watson is going to shine.
Was running the top series in Ontario, wanted to move to the national level. Been a great addition to the tour with the White Motorsports prepared car running well here today.
Back at the front of the field, Marc-Antoine Cameron with about 5 car lengths advantage over Kevin Lacroix. Raphael Lessard putting the pressure on DJ Kennington, running with the front bumper of that number 8 right into the back of the 17 Kennington. Not really giving him a push yet, but now he looks to the inside.
Either way, Kennington ain't gonna like it, leaning on him like that. But he's able to maintain the position, which is the battle for 5th.
Lessard fell back a long way on the start of this race, making his way back through the field. Contact. When you rub bodies, front bumper to back bumper, you'll wiggle the cars a little bit. As soon as you touch tires, rubber on rubber, they react drastically.
And boy, we saw it there. Now, LP Dumoulin trying to take care of the Lessard number 8 with Andrew Ranger on the backside. 3 of Quebec's best going at it right now.
Dumoulin driving that 47 hard. He clears Raphael Lessard. Power move by Dumoulin on the outside.
LP, what a great champion he's been, and now smoke out of the Brett Taylor number 3. Brett got a huge ovation from the Alberta crowd here during driver introductions. And once again, tough luck and technical problems befall the Brett Taylor number 3.
It looked as though the smoke was coming out the right front wheel well of that race car. So whether it was a tire going down, it looks like Brett Taylor is ready to make the turn towards pit road, so that car is running. And he just missed Jamie Krizik.
Now, was that a shot maybe, or were they racing near each other?
Maybe, but I don't necessarily think so. I think it was just a matter he needed to get to pit road, but you never know. That's a good point.
Maybe he felt that the Krizik 46 cost him that right front. But the crew down there to get work on that.
Tires don't flatten themselves. Looks like Dexter Stacey gonna get the free pass.
So they've been working on that car on the last caution, you recall when they worked on tag, they were putting a rear adjustment into the 92, so maybe this is what he needs. We see Taylor back coming onto the speedway here in pit road, ready to roll out and take his position at the tail end of the field.
Dexter Stacey running 13th. He will be on the lead lap in that 13th position as Brett Taylor makes his way back onto the racetrack.
Just past 100 laps, just under 200 to go. Marc-Antoine Cameron, second in the points, leading this race. Second on the speedway right now is first in points, Kevin Lacroix. Third on the speedway is third in points, Gary Clute. And then you got Watson, Kennington, Dumoulin, and Lessard unofficially.
Behind them, still on the lead lap, Andrew Ranger in the 27, the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. The 18 of Alex Tagliani rounds out the top 10. 11th is Donald Teach, 12th, the 46 of Jamie Krizik, and 13th, getting the free pass under this yellow, is Dexter Stacey in the 92. What these drivers want to do is make it to the halfway point on the lead lap. Let's take a quick break, Clint.
Welcome back to Edmonton International Raceway, the Bear 300, just over lap 106, getting ready for the restart down the back straightaway. They just said one to go at him, but they re-threw the yellow as either Kalika's got problems here in the 43 or she's out of the position.
Yeah, she just got to go to the back with the lap down cars. They can go one to go and sort out the field double wide, but it's hard on a quarter-mile racetrack to get everyone in the right spot and ready for a fair restart. And it's important to mention. They've got to do things fairly because that's the way NASCAR rolls.
Field doubled up, ready to go. Still have not shown the white. Still trying to get someone back in position.
Safety truck on the racetrack, so I believe there might be a report of debris somewhere. Safety truck going up towards turn number 1.
Now, I did pick something up there, Adam. Looked like maybe a small piece of wire or something. I don't know, hard to tell what it was. Could you see what it was?
No.
But we could barely see it, but the official did get out and pick something up.
Something that close to the flag stand. Mike Charret is going to catch that, our starter for the NASCAR Pinty Series. Field is doubled up. Marc-Antoine Camerand on the inside. Kevin Lacroix on the outside. DJ Kennington had fallen back to 5th in the 17, so let's see what Gary Clute in the 59, Brandon Watson in the 9 can do as we approach this restart. 109 laps complete.
Well, we know that Clute and Watson know how to lead races and win them. We'll see if they can get up there and take the lead away. Clute with the nose on the 74. Lacroix backed out, but he'll fill that gap right on the back bumper of the Cameron 96.
Really good turn 1 and 2 for Gary Clute. Problem for Andrew Ranger further back.
Oh! Flat right front, Adam, and he spins it out right in front of us.
Yellow flag flies as Andrew Ranger goes around.
Yeah, it's definitely a flat right front. I saw that when he come around.
A veteran move. He grabbed a gear and took off before he was going to lose a lap. But what this will do is put another car back on the lead lap, Clinton, because there will be a free pass.
You know, you and I cover a lot of short track racing, Adam, and depending on where you go, the rules are a little different. But we always say you got to play the game right. And Ranger did a good job of just spinning out and not just stopping to get a yellow, because sometimes that will draws
the wrong type of attention.
Yeah, I was going to say ire, but you're right. The wrong type of attention is a good way to put it.
So Mark Dilley is going to get one of his 2 laps back. And this is going to be a fun night, Clinton, because we're going to demonstrate how patience and understanding of the rules really pays off in this series. Mark Dilley 2 laps down. You know he's disappointed, but he's got to know he's got a bit of speed in that race car. Just hang in there.
I don't see a flat right front on the 27, Adam, but I see all of the markings are rubbed off of it, and it looks like it's cambered a little bit the wrong way.
It could be the pit road hadn't opened yet. Yeah, now pit road is open.
But I'm saying, no, I thought he had a right front, and it didn't look like it was flat when he came by there. Maybe it is soft, though.
That car is leaning over to the right.
Crew going to work on that corner.
So for the second time tonight, we see drivers with right front tire problems, the tire not being completely flat, but looked like they had a problem with an air gun. An adjacent crew running over to give them some assistance.
They'll make a rear chassis adjustment while he's in the pits as well, and Ranger, Cameron's teammate, will drive away. Dexter Stacy back in the pits. They're going to make another adjustment on the other side of that car. They made a left rear adjustment on the previous pit stop. Now they've gone around to the right side. So still trying to throw some stuff at the wall and see what will stick to the 92 and give him a bit more bite here. Working on that 115 under yellow here in the Bear 300 live from Edmonton International Raceway.
I'm not sure Andrew Ranger didn't lose a lap on pit road there. Didn't seem like they were taking that long, but problem with the air gun. And I think Ranger might have gone down a lap.
Now, if he went down a lap just now, he won't get the lucky dog, will he?
Not under this yellow.
That's
no.
what I thought. You can't be the cause of the yellow and receive the lucky dog, correct?
And they give the lucky dog the free pass based on the car that was a lap down when the yellow flew.
Ah, makes sense.
Rules.
That's why we've got you here. 15 plus years in the tour. I'm about working on my 15th race if I could even get that far. So great to have you here, Adam, filling us in on all the particulars with the tour, because a lot of stops we go, there's different situations.
It was great to see some of the fans in the autograph session, you know, say welcome back, thanks for coming out, and then we respond with the same message. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
It's great to be back to normal.
Still under yellow here, Cameron, Lacroix, Clute, Watson, and Kennington.
Looking at, it looks like they're in the same running order they were in for the last restart.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to sort out here. Want to welcome everybody watching at home. If you could be with us here in Edmonton, Alberta today, the stream portion of this tour has really picked up a lot, Adam. We see the comments. We appreciate everybody reaching out to us and letting you know that you got an interest in this fantastic series, even if you can't travel around with it.
No, for sure. Great to be out west, different time zones. So back where we're in Ontario, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Which is crazy, because it doesn't feel that way.
No.
I guess this is how you end up with jet lag, because it feels like it should be 8 o'clock here in Alberta. My body tells me I should have slept hours ago.
Selfishly, I'm excited because I could watch timing and scoring from Flamborough Speedway in Ontario
Before
to see
you
my
have
son.
to go to work.
2 top 5s tonight for Connor, 2 fifth-place finishes. So that was awesome, and now we get to call a big race out here. So Marc-Antoine Cameron still the race leader in the 96.
Lacroix working that outside groove. Clute still hanging around, and Watson, the guy we spoke of earlier, trying to migrate a couple more positions to the front.
Cameron trying to clear the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. Gary Clute trying to keep pace with Cameron. He'll get a good run through 1 and 2. Right up alongside Lacroix for that second spot. They'll race side by side off turn number 4.
Clute with the second position. Gets the nose out front. Watson all over the back bumper. Him now. They're trying to hang the point leader out to dry.
Kevin Lacroix, fierce competitor. Oh, contact.
And Watson will take the advantage. Position number 2 after Lacroix got into Clute, and Clute nearly got dumped again coming down across the nose.
Yeah, Clute kind of missed the entrance there to turn 1. Kevin Lacroix, I think, cut him some slack, letting him get down to the bottom. But we've got a new second place car, and it's Brandon Watson in the 9.
Great battle inside the top 5 on our screen. We see Lapsevich, Teach, and the 17 of Kennington. Kennington fading back a bit, and here comes Dexter Stacy putting a pass on the Castro machine.
DJ Kennington was battling for the lead 50 laps ago. Dexter Stacy and Jamie Krizik were both a lap down at that time.
You know, he's been in the pits twice and showed that the payoff is with, you know, he's making up spots after both of those adjustments coming to fruition.
Brandon Watson right up on the back end of Marc-Antoine Cameron. He shadows the leader down the front straightaway.
This is the kind of racing we've been waiting to see for Brandon Watson all year. We know he can do it, we know he can apply the pressure, and we know his race game is on point.
We're less than 25 laps from the halfway break. Brandon Watson knows it's time to use up those tires, do what you've got to do to get that lead, because you're going to get fresh rubber at the break, and you know he'd want to restart on the pole.
Well, also, at the end of this race, he's going to be in the same situation, 150 lap tires. Let's push the situation, see where we can get to. Steyer's in the pits and back out now.
Shame for Glenn Steyer's really having his best run of the season, but he's still going to be out there running quality laps in that zero machine.
On our screen, it is Dilly. Oh, Taylor slow again.
Yeah, Brett Taylor with a problem on the back straightaway. He's trying to come up to speed in that number 3, but it just doesn't look like the car will do it.
No, he's got big issues. We'll see if he parks it or if he waits for the yellow. Looks like he's just going to go pit side at him.
Yeah, he's trying to feel it out, I think, Clinton, find out what's actually wrong with it, but definitely off the pace with problems in that number 3.
Horrible season here for Brett Taylor so far. Got to Newfoundland, got wrecked on lap .08. Didn't even make it to turn 1.
Disappointing to fly all the way across the country for that to happen. Out in front, Marc-Antoine Cameron, he's found another gear. He's driven away from Brandon Watson about 3 car lengths.
So it looks like a second cut right front on Brett Taylor. Something in that chassis is cutting down those right fronts, Adam.
Thankfully, he's caught it. As you cut down a right front on a tight track like this, normally you will clobber the outside wall.
15 laps before the break approximately as the TCB Trailers North Country Property Maintenance 3 of Taylor will get back out there and hustle after it as best he can with a car that hasn't been doing him any favors this afternoon.
Brian Cathcart just got real loose in front of the race leader. Brett Taylor still has a problem in that number 3. The car is laying right over on the right front.
And he knows it, coming back in. Another tough day for Brett Taylor. And it doesn't get any better.
Just ahead of the race leaders, Chantel Kalika and Glenn Stiers. Cameron pulling away from the 9 of Brandon Watson. Kalika drives to the inside of Stiers. They're too wide right in front of Cameron.
Let's see what the leader does, how he parts the seas here. Stiers will give way, as will Kalika to the leaders. Cameron through, Kalika back to the bottom. Watson in there now, but he's about 10 car lengths back of the Kalika 43. Contact at the back here, LP Dumoulin on Kreisig.
Jamie Krizik closed the door on LP Dumoulin. Dumoulin, defending series champion, says, no you don't. I'm here and I'm staying here.
They still go battling, and Dumoulin lost the handle there and got up into the side of Krizik.
All this happening right behind Dexter Stacy in the 92. And now LP Dumoulin off the pace. JP Bergeron drove right into the back of the 47.
Yeah, the right front looks all right on that 47, but Bergeron is applying heat. We look here at Lacroix and Clute as they battle for position number 3.
I smell a rear end going, and there is fluid all over. Is that fluid line around the inside?
I think there is, yes.
So someone, I believe, is losing rear end grease. It might be Glenn Stiers in the 0 car. He's getting loose out there, maybe in his own fluid, but that is a serious line of liquid that'll be giving these drivers fits.
You know, I'm looking up the back to see, can you see it coming up anywhere? I don't see anybody with it.
With rear end grease, you normally don't. You'll see it spider web out on the rear wheel, but everyone runs black wheels, so you can't see it.
Yeah.
And look at, Brandon Watson has moved up a full lane on the racetrack. He wants nothing to do with that oil.
Kalika just slid right through the bottom of 1 as well.
So the drivers are basically saying, look, there's a problem out here. Cameron is going below the oil. Watson is going above the oil.
As our eyes still keep spying around to see who it could possibly be. I'm not sure if I just saw smoke out of the back of the Dilly 64. Doesn't appear, but we have a yellow flag condition now, and Taylor being pushed behind the wall.
Disappointment for Brett Taylor, driver of the number 3.
So will this end up being the halfway break, Adam? 148 with the yellow out?
Most likely. The way we will know is they'll gather the field behind the pace car. When it's time for the halfway break, they take the top running car a lap down. Instead of the free pass having to wait for the 1 to go signal, they send the free pass immediately to make up his lap or her lap, and then they'll call the break.
Does that mean the 27 a Ranger?
It would be Andrew Ranger. He had gone a lap down. So let's see if he stays behind the pace car, if they send him right around.
One of our buddies just telling us Brian Cathcart is the one who's dropping the oil. So we'll see if that's the situation.
Indeed, they send Andrew Ranger to the tail of the field, so I believe we will see them pull all these cars down pit road. They'll shut all the cars down, and once the final car is shut down, the work will begin. They fuel the cars first, then they put on tires, and then the teams have just a couple of minutes if they want to make any further adjustments.
Marc-Antoine Cameron continues his leading ways He has led a lot of laps this year.
How cool is that shot?
That's right above us.
That is the spotters. So the hospitality suites are seat cams.
I love that.
Welded together. It's a great view. All of the seat cams are cut out at the front with garage doors.
Yeah, if they pan down a little bit, he might have seen us.
They'll pan back to a great crowd. A lot of them heading down to the concessions or the washrooms.
You know what I found here?
What'd you found?
Pinty's Flings. So I had chicken for dinner. It was awesome.
Nice, nice.
Do you want some?
No, thank you.
They're only 3 hours cold. And with that, we'll be right back. Are you want to set this up, Adam, before we take a break?
Brian Cathcart just turned completely sideways on pit road, so that's an interesting.
I think you didn't want the officials to see the rear end gear leaking out.
That could be.
No, we're kidding. Obviously, as the crews get assembled, we'll take a short break here on the stream. We'll be back to call these pit stops for you. Welcome back to Edmonton International Raceway. We're live here. Pit stops getting underway at the halfway break in the Bear 300 for the NASCAR Pinty Series. Western Swing, race number 1. 2 more to come this week. Adam, we will move on to Saskatoon on Wednesday for Twin 125s presented by Leland Industries.
Always a fun night at Saskatoon. I love weeknight racing. And some of these races, Clint, is great out here. We come out to Edmonton International Speedway, and it's the thing to do. When you go to Ontario, there's certain places you go to that if you race on a Saturday, you're competing with a lot of other venues. So I love the fact that later this year we'll go to Wetaskiwin for a Tuesday night show. I love going out to Saskatoon for a Wednesday night show. Neat little racetrack.
As we look down pit road, see the hood up on the Tagliani 18, Adam. Could that possibly be nose cone work still on that car?
Yeah, they'll want to fine-tune that, make sure that the ducts are lined up where they're supposed to be so the air is cooling what the air is supposed to cool out there.
Wait a minute. Do you mean they're trying to get their ducks in a row?
Trying to get their ducks in a row.
I don't think we'll get in trouble for that.
Did you really just put on a sweater?
You're not supposed to tell them.
You getting soft?
I am. You know that. I'm cold everywhere we go.
The action is
cold
hot.
In the desert.
The action is hot in Edmonton. No sweaters required.
So, hood's still up on the Tagliani car.
And they've got plenty of time. A lot of teams just now going around to the left side. A lot of these teams use the same crew to service 2 cars. And that's why they went to these halfway breaks, is to save the teams money from having to bring a full crew of tire changers and gas men and women. This allows them to bring a smaller crew.
It's not just size, though, Adam. It's talent. And what we mean by that is some of the richer teams will go out and buy a NASCAR team to come in and pit for them, and that's not exactly what we need in this deal.
No, exactly. And they're keeping the team's best interests in mind. And I enjoyed the halfway breaks. It gives us a chance to reset, talk about what's been going on, set things up for the second half.
Such a quiet befalls the Speedway now after a roaring going on for quite a while. We do see they are working on the track here in turn 1 and 2. So maybe they did find some oil down there, Adam.
Well, we did. And they're right in the track we saw. So that official is working down through turn number 2. And it goes all the way from the entrance of turn 1. In fact, it looks like just into turn 1 is where it really started to unload.
Hood goes back secure on the Viagra machine for Tagliani. That's the one situation we were looking at. We see them down there working on the Paillet 98 car, trying to put some tape on the right front of that one.
Right behind Tagliani is the 20 at Trayton Lapsevich, and there's not a lot of work being done on that race car. Same with J.P. Bergeron in the 1, Rafael Lessard in the 8. So it's just routine maintenance on most of these cars. Gary Klute's car still up on jack stands down there on pit lane, the 59 machine.
Yeah, we see Cathcart crew going to work on the 71 as well to try and see what they can do. If you're interested in the series, Adam, there's lots of places you can find chatter about it. Just search NASCAR Pinty Series, search community boards, whatever you got to do, and lots of stuff to see out there.
I really like the NASCAR Pinty's page on Facebook, the community page that Cam Harris is involved in. Just reached 50,000 followers, likes.
That's amazing.
Members?
5,000 members today.
5,000.
That's still amazing.
It's like 50,000 only without a zero.
The Canadian conversion.
I got carried away.
It soon will be 50,000.
Great series. This series is moving in the right direction. 20 cars, 20 quality cars. There were times when we traveled the country. I remember going down to Riverside in Nova Scotia where there was a couple of starting parks. Took the green flag, pulled right into the pits.
And that's tough when you only got 18 cars, right? Like,
every one of the 20 cars here in attendance are here to race.
And that's something to be said about the series, too. You know, nobody wants to just ride around and park it.
No, you want quality races. You want people who are learning. You want people who are veterans. We've got comers and goers in their careers. Some people come here to extend their careers. Some people come here to start their careers.
Great way to put it. We got to be closing in on it shortly. We're at 150 in the Bear 300. 150 laps to go here in this quarter-mile bull ring in Wetaskiwin, Alberta. Just south of Edmonton.
Well, you got your directions right.
I do now.
You weren't sure which way we were driving when we left the airport.
Man, today I've been on 2 airplanes, a monorail, and a couple of cars, all on about 3 hours sleep. I'm lucky I can still talk or sit upright even.
We talked about this earlier. You can't say it like that. You got to say monorail. Like it's,
yeah.
Like you're selling it.
Oh, what was the name of that salesman? Now it's got me thinking about it.
I don't know.
That's the best Simpsons episode, though.
Oh, the things that amuse me. There is Speedy Dry all the way around this racetrack.
Yeah, they definitely have to clean that up.
The fact that drivers were avoiding that strip of oil on the racetrack, some driving under it, some driving over it, tells you it was a serious issue out there.
Where's the tips?
So yellow flag being displayed, that means they're going to send.
Can I have your cutters?
They're going to send the field back out behind the pace car in the order they were running.
So we got to be near the end of the break, right, Adam?
Yeah, they've just gone back to yellow flag. They're giving the signal to these teams to fire up these race cars. Marc-Antoine Cameron, of course, is the race leader. He will roll out first. Brandon Watson in the 9 is second. The 74 of Kevin Lacroix runs third. The 59 of Gary Klute is fourth. Rafael Lessard in the 8 rounds out the top 5. 6th through 10th, it's Alex Tagliani in the 18, the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich, the 80 of Donald Teague, the 92 of Dexter Stacey, and the 47 of LP Dumoulin. 11th is Jamie Krizik in the 46. DJ Kennington is 12th in the 17. Andrew Ranger is 13th in the 27. Those are all the cars on the lead lap. 1 lap down in 14th is Mark Dilley in the 64. Brian Cathcart is 3 laps down in 15th, but I'm not sure if he's going to make it back out on the racetrack. JP Bergeron is 3 laps down in 16th. Wallace Stacey 3 laps down in 17th. Chantel Kalika 5 laps down in 18th. Glenn Stiers 8 laps down in 19th, and Brett Taylor is out of the race. So a lot of activity going on out here. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20. So in this situation, the driver will get a push start and be able to take his spot in the running order. And there's still some work going on out on the racetrack with oil dry, where the rear end grease from Brian Cathcart in the 71 was spread around the racetrack in the inside groove. Lapsevich, number 20, fires. He will rejoin the field and take up his position. And we will get Mac to yellow flag and get this race resumed. The Bayer 300 laps is the scheduled distance. We've seen a number of drivers take a run at the front. Kevin Lacroix, DJ Kennington, Marc-Antoine Cameron. Brandon Watson worked his way through the field in that number 9. And there's even more players who haven't flexed their muscle just yet. A boisterous crowd is on hand. So they're going to hold the pace car there in turn number 4. They'll run the field up. It looks like Raphael Lessard's number 8 machine might need a push start from where he stopped on the back straightaway. The cleanup crew this is a well orchestrated cleanup out here. A couple of different cleanup trucks. This push truck here at Edmonton International Speedway, it is a classic out there. Just waiting to give Raphael Lessard a push.
Marc-Antoine Cameron is still holding the first place position, followed by the number 9 of Brandon Watson. We got the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, the number 50.
And it looks like they might have made repairs to Brian Cathcart in the 71, or they're just bringing it behind the wall. And that is what they're doing. They're going to bring the 71 behind the wall. Looks like his day is done. Now, Raphael Lessard in the number 8, I'm not sure that car is firing. It looks like he's making the hard left turn down pit lane. The crew is frantically waving. In this case, they're not counting laps.
Crew motioning the tow truck to push him a little bit further down, and
I don't think the tow truck is supposed. The tow truck can push a car back to pit road, but they can't push a car down pit road.
Got ya.
So the hood going up on that number 8 to Raphael Lessard. A crew member climbing right inside in case the problem is electrical. All the wiring is in the driver's cockpit of that race car.
And tell them to crank it over and try and fire. So it looks like they may have found problems. Now it looks like they've got the air box off and possibly looking at the carburetor, trying to figure out what is wrong with the Lessard machine.
They're going to be a few laps working through this oil dry, so the team probably has about 3 to 4 minutes to try to make repairs and do whatever it's going to do, with laps not counting.
We just had someone ask, is Cathcart out? Cathcart is out of this race. He's parked it on the back straightaway. So the 71 done.
Yeah, we can see him standing in the middle of the infield there talking to some crew members. You very rarely see Brian Cathcart anything but happy.
And now we're going to have a bit of a messy track as the speedy dry is going to kick up some dust here for a few laps.
Mark Dilley is on pit road in that 64. The hood goes up on the Leland machine. So we got hood up on a couple of race cars as work continues on this racetrack. They're going to double up the field, but the lights are still on the pace car. This restart is going to be a wild one. I think it favors Brandon Watson in the number 9 because all of the oil dry is on the inside groove.
Still under yellow. Dilley making his return in the IHL Leland Industries 64 car.
And I mean, they are all up in the Raphael Lessard number 8. One crew member has just climbed right into the engine compartment. one crew member, I believe, is still inside the race car.
And the 64 is not right. He's coming back in the pits once again as well. Tried to drive it out of the backside, and it just didn't really get up to speed. And we still under yellow, but still. And this is a good time to have problems, right, Adam? Because we're not counting laps yet.
It's the best time to have a problem. If you're gonna have one, this is the time to do it. So whatever was the case on the 64, it surprises me that they would have thought they solved a problem but didn't. So they continue to search under the hood. Lots of hands up in the 8 machine of Raphael Lessard.
And actually in the car, now they're climbing right in the engine bay. If anything, this has given a chance to blow some of that speedy dry out of the way.
Don Thompson Jr., the crew chief for Kevin Lacroix, is down there lobbying NASCAR officials. And I don't know what he's saying. I don't know if he's saying the track is not ready to race on. But I've got a feeling that's his argument. Because he's saying, look at the inside groove. It's still full of oil, dry, and oil. It's not cleaned up. We are at a disadvantage.
His driver's down on the inside, so you know he definitely wants to make sure that's cleaned off.
Don Thompson knows this game as well as anybody. We're about to go back to green, and they've now started counting laps.
Here comes Dilly out. See if he can get back up to speed. Green flag is out. We're going at it. Dilly tries to get up to speed. He's half a lap behind. But we watch as the leaders get into 3. All kinds of dust flying. Oh, Watson gets way out of shape.
Watson goes up the racetrack. He was looking good to battle for the lead. Loses all that ground. His car's still on the inside. Slipping and sliding through the oil dry.
Watson on the outside of the Clute 59. They try and find some bit of bite up on the top side. The 9 trying to make back what he lost. And Lacroix all over the rear bumper of the leader. Marc-Antoine Cameron, and now he looks to the outside a little bit.
A little further back, you've got Trayton Lapsevich on the outside as well, battling for the 6th spot with Donald Teach in the 80. But up front, once again, oh, trouble! Alex Tagliani makes contact with Brandon Watson. They slide together down the back straightaway, locked together. Tagliani looks to have gotten the worst of that exchange, but Brandon Watson moments ago was battling for the lead, and now he's at the tail end of the lead lap.
A lot of damage to that nose. They tried to get back in shape for Tagliani. He sits resting on the concrete block at the entrance to turn number 3.
We're about to have a look at a replay. I believe we got a couple of angles of this action as we look right now at Alex Tagliani nosed into the inside concrete. Remember, that was our pole sitter. Fastest car in qualifying.
Trying to get it fired to back it up.
And a crew member is communicating. Let's look at these replays. There's the 18 on the right side of the screen. Brandon Watson just ahead of him. You know, there comes a point when you got to bite the brakes, right? Like when you get up in the air like that. So I'm not sure what could have happened. There's the contact.
Who do you put that one on?
You know,
so hard, man. It's so hard.
Kenny Schrader will tell you it's 50% each just for being on the racetrack. But at that point, I'm not sure why Tagliani was still hard on the throttle. You're not going to... The only time you would stay on the gas is if you've got a car spinning across your nose and you're at the left rear tire or further back. You'd stay on the gas to finish them spinning so you can drive away.
Well, I also look at it that if you're at the number, you may want to stick it in a bit far. But when you're that far back, you just can't come at them from the backside. In my opinion, I mean, we're not driving these cars, but it should have been a little more give and take there, I think. But
Brandon Watson might have been frustrated, so he didn't want to hear there was a car low and just turned right down. So
yep,
there's many stages to these exchanges.
Now, we get some good looks at it there. And there the nose finally comes off the Tagliani car. And they've been trying to keep that one in one piece all day. And now they got all kinds of duct problems. And there's a good look at the duct work you were talking about, Adam. Brake ducts, trying to keep things cool. And
the radiator duct.
Yeah, the orange hoses there. And you got your rad shroud there, you know, your big kind of big square aluminum part in the middle that will pull all the air right into the radiator. Then you got those orange hoses that are direct air onto the brakes to cool them off. This is a track, Adam, that you would think aerodynamic probably would be the least amount of the worries.
Yeah, very rarely do you worry about aerodynamics in this series. One thing you will start to worry about is we got to race these cars on Wednesday.
That is a good throwing.
So Saturday night here in Edmonton, we look again, and you can see Tagliani, the brakes never do lock up on the 18.
He's still gassing it.
And
was he trying to push him back out to the right, maybe?
That's why I say you're never going to, because these cars are driven from the back end. The 9 car, whether he's on the throttle or not, the car's trying to go forward. So where Tag is, you just can't redirect that car to straighten it from that position.
Both of them were on the gas until they realized they were headed for the concrete.
I never noticed until just then, Tagliani, that final stop was pretty abrupt.
Lassard coming out, sans hood. Watson in the pits as well, trying to work on the left side of the 9 car.
And you can see the exhaust out of there. Watson's keeping that car running. Let's see if he... 163 laps complete. Brandon Watson is still on the lead lap. 1 to go. Marc-Antoine Cameron on the inside. Kevin Lacroix on the outside. How about Trayton Lapsovich in that number 20? He's up to the 4th position.
Watson just drove around the field to go back up to the lead lap position he's supposed to be at. Getting ready to go back to green one more time here.
Alex Tagliani still sitting on pit road. Many laps down now as the crew continues to work. Meanwhile at the front, Kevin Lacroix going to try to do the same thing Brandon Watson did. Working the outside groove of the racetrack, battling for the lead. Cameron, he'll lead this lap with a great run of a turn 4.
Kerry Klute's been hanging around all day, so has Lapsovich, but this is the first time we've really talked about Donald Teague. We know he's a great short track racer who could easily get it done if everything comes together.
He was the fastest car in practice, but look at these drivers. They've gone to the back. Teague in the 80, Lapsovich in the 20, the 92 of Dexter Stacey. LP Dumoulin, the 47, started at the back of the field.
I think this is the best we've seen Dexter Stacey in a while, Adam. You know, he finished 3rd at CTMP on the road course, but they have worked really good for this run they're having right now. They've been in the pits, they worked it over, they've been patient, they worked their way back up. Now he finds himself running right there in position number 5, which is awesome.
Trayton Lapsovich, we talked about him in the 4th spot. He's been shuffled back almost out of the top 10, but you're absolutely right about Dexter Stacey making the right adjustments, not being shy to come down pit road when you've got nothing to lose.
I gotta wonder if something wrong with that 20, Adam. He's faded about 8 spots in the recent going, not really pushing hard. He's up a half lane over than everybody else. Something isn't right with that 20 car.
Well off the pace is Trayton Lapsovich. Look at the bottleneck at the front of the field, though. Marc-Antoine Cameron under attack. Kevin Lacroix to the inside. We've got a new race leader.
Lacroix sends it into turn 1. He'll come out with the lead. Now Klute milking on the indoor, trying to make some moves on the 96 of Cameron. And he gets him jacked up into 1.
Cameron tried to close the door. Klute, a masterful job of keeping his front bumper right where he should.
Yeah, tell him, you're only going to get so many of those, buddy, and it ain't going to be your day, but I'll give it to you this time.
Donald Teague up on the back end of Gary Klute's 59, so that's why you have to stay aggressive. If you give an inch, someone's going to take it.
Yeah, Lapsovich car, did you hear that? It did not sound good when the 20 rolled by us. Probably just going to try and complete as many laps as he can until it finally gives up the ghost, and I think it's going to do it right here.
Donald Teague push the 59 of Gary Klute down into the corner. Klute's up out of the groove. Now he's going backwards.
Lapsovich, I thought he was going to the pits, but he'll keep out there on the very bottom, but only at about half this pace.
Yeah, Trayton Lapsovich, what a bummer. What a tough break for that driver out of Grimsby, Ontario.
He's headed for the pits this lap.
At the front, Kevin Lacroix out in front, driving away a bit from Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96. Donald Teague up to 3rd. Andrew Ranger fourth in the 27, and Brandon Watson, after going all the way to the back of the lead lap, is back into the top 5.
That's wild. We told you Watson is a short track ace. His first appearance here at Alberta's Speedway here in Edmonton, and he's doing a fantastic job. Two of the locals running decent days too. Chantal Kaliga, Jamie Kreisig, both having good days, both mindful of the leaders, both have clean cars still.
Yeah, and that's a huge deal for them. You know, these teams do not want to have to do major work between now and Saskatoon, especially a part-time team.
Top 2 get through. Now Tagliani really slow on the front straightaway into turn 1. And he's only about half speed. Got to think he's headed for the pits once again.
Stays well out of the way, but look at Marc-Antoine Cameron. He's putting the pressure on race leader Kevin Lacroix once again.
All over the back bumper. Tags back into the pit area.
Cameron to the inside of Kevin Lacroix. He had to back out of that hole. He's going to try it again. As Alex Tagliani back out onto the racetrack one more time, and that number 18.
I'm pretty sure Tagliani knows that Lapsevich just pulled off. So if he can make just a few more laps than the 20, he'll be in a better shape than him.
Big picture racing. Cameron again to the inside of the 74. Lacroix shuts the door.
How many times are they going to let Tagliani drive through pit road and continue to make laps at a quarter speed? This is the third time he's gone through the pits. Not stopped, rolled across the timing and scoring line, and clicks another one on.
You always got to be one step ahead of the officials. Cameron working the inside of Lacroix. Andrew Ranger up to the third spot of the number 27.
Good battle for the lead. Cameron has been the dominant car. The point leader leads right now. That's the battle for the lead and the points.
Cameron came into today 3 points behind Kevin Lacroix. He had the lead going into Toronto. He lost it in Toronto, and now he's keeping the pressure on the driver from St. Eustache, Kevin Lacroix, side by side for the lead down the backstretch.
Cameron noses back out in front. Lacroix will give him a bit of room to make that move. As they are battling there, Ranger is starting to come into the picture. And we know how good of a short tracker he is. Lapsevich back out. Could he be playing the make lap game too?
We'll find out, because Alex Tagliani is now on the racetrack up to speed in that number 18. At the front, Cameron has a car length and a half advantage over Kevin Lacroix, but they've got a lot of lap traffic coming up ahead.
We're trying to figure out if they've got the Lapsevich 20 car fixed. We're trying to have a listen as he goes by. He's definitely faster than Tagliani, who is the first car behind him. And I don't hear the car breaking down the way it was.
The other driver on the move right now just got back into the top 5. DJ Kennington, the Castrol Edge 17. Brandon Watson sliding back through the top 10.
Field strung out all the way around the speedway here at Edmonton International Speedway, Wetaskiwin, Alberta. The farthest west the series will go in 2022. Leaders working around the lap machine of Stiers once again. They get clean around him. The next car they'll see will be the Kalika 43.
Andrew Ranger closing in on that lead duo. We're soon to have a 3-car battle at the front of the field. Donald Teague not too far back either in that number 80.
Boy, looks like they've got the Lapsevich 20 out of him. He's out there passing cars and running well again, as is the Dilly 64.
We'll give you a rundown next opportunity we have a break, because I'm fairly sure we haven't seen the last of the yellow flags.
Marc-Antoine Cameron continues to lead the field, but Kevin Lacroix has not stepped very far away from the back bumper of this Paille Chevrolet. Behind them, leader's teammate Andrew Ranger coming into the mix and fighting his way into the top 3. Behind them, 4th is Donald Teague, and Kennington runs in 5th.
Yeah, Teague is, Glenn Stiers tags the wall on the front stretch. Nice save for Stiers as he got all out of shape at the start-finish line.
Donald Teague will get around Tagliani, but the battle we're watching is Marc-Antoine Cameron and Kevin Lacroix. Under 100 laps to go, 99 to go here for the leader in the 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Man, oh man, there's a lot of traffic out here. Cars multiple laps down. Cars on the lead lap, battling with cars 1 lap down, thinking about the free pass. But Marc-Antoine Cameron out in front has some clean racetrack. Nothing out the windshield, but his rearview mirror is full of Kevin Lacroix.
But it won't be long till they're on the back of the field once again. Those two still class of the field this afternoon, but the teammate of the leader and the other Paye Chev trying to come into the mix, and that's one of the best short track racers this series has ever seen in the form of Andrew Ranger.
One other thing we're seeing, Clint, the sun is going down, so turns 1 and 2 are in shade, turns 3 and 4 still in the bright sunlight.
Good point, Adam. It's been a fluctuating day. The sun kind of hid behind the clouds, and as you mentioned that, it peaks out to illuminate the back straightaway in turn 3 and 4.
Oh, Alex Tagliani with Brandon Watson down into 3. He didn't cut Brandon Watson too much slack out there.
But he can't keep pace with the 9 to do anything about it. At this point in the race, 207 laps complete, 93 to go. Leaders now on the back bumper of the Chantel Kalika, 43 once more.
You've even got situations where Brandon Watson on the lead lap is letting Rafael Lazard go by, Trayton Lapsovich go by. There are numerous laps down. There's no reason to battle those cars. DJ Kennington has caught up to Donald Teague in the 80. He'll look to the inside, and the Castrol Edge Dodge down through 1 and 2. Kennington moves up to the 4th spot.
Just drives by on the bottom with ease. Teague won't let him go. Still a long way to go. Doesn't seem like it. Less than 1/3 of the event to go, but 89 laps is still a long time for a lot of things to happen.
Now they're back into traffic are the race leaders. Marc-Antoine Cameron swings to the outside of Glenn Stiers. Kevin Lacroix right there on his track.
Working to the outside goes the Paye 96. The leader will take them around. Kevin Lacroix will follow around the 0. And now they're on the back door of Wallace Stacy.
Mike Charay waving his arm off with that blue flag. It's Cameron.
Gonna need a new one. He wore that one out today.
Cameron goes around Wallace Stacy. Alex Tagliani up next. Marc-Antoine Cameron being mindful not to leave any opening for Kevin Lacroix to try to force an issue. He's doing a great job right now leading this race, but Lacroix has a lot of speed.
Lacroix right on the back bumper of the leader. Jamie Kreisler could be the next one they will have to deal with as they make their way by to the 46 car. A long way back to 4th place, DJ Kennington and Donald Teague.
And right now, Jamie Krizik runs in the 10th spot. He is on the lead lap, so he's going to want to put up a bit of a fight here. He doesn't want to give up that lead lap position.
Well, in a perfect world, he gets by Dilly and lets Dilly battle with the leaders, but doesn't look like that's going to happen as Cameron points it to the outside of the Krizik 46 and will drive on by. Lacroix going to hitch his caboose to the engine of the 96 and roll with him.
The good news for Jamie Krizik, the next car a lap down is Dexter Stacy, a full straightaway ahead, so if they get a yellow, he's in a good spot to get that free pass.
Cameron, Lacroix, and Ranger the top 3. Kennington and Donald Teague round out the top 5.
Kennington in some heavy traffic as well, working around Glenn Stiers in the 0. He's got Donald Teague right behind him with LP Dumoulin looking to move into the top 5 in that 47. Dumoulin's going to get stuck behind Glenn Stiers. Will have to take another run at the 80 of Teague.
Teach fading back a little bit from Kennington, who will gap him by about 4 car lengths. As they get off to turn number 3, there you see the battle on the screen. Kennington leading the charge in the 17.
Mark Tilley going a lap down in that 64 machine. He's on the inside of Cameron. Now he's going to try to use Chantel Kalika as a pick, but Kalika got way up out of the way. She wanted nothing to do with that battle amongst the leaders.
Tilley trying to battle them hard, but Cameron will just nose out. Clear the 64. No, he doesn't. Tilley battles back on the bottom, and they nearly touch.
Mark Tilley does not want to go a second lap down, so he's going to fight pretty hard in that 64 machine. He's got good track position, but Cameron trying to close the door, but Tilley is right there.
Yeah, you never want to be leaning on the leader like that. Well, I mean, Tilley does, but nobody else will like it.
Cameron clears the Tilley 64. Kevin Lacroix going to do the same, and now Andrew Ranger looking to get to the inside.
Oh! Ranger just 3-wided underneath Tagliani and Tilley.
Why not? Bold move by Andrew Ranger, but he's keeping pace with the leaders. Dexter Stacy is on the lead lap. He's running in the 9th spot. He is not going to want to go a lap down either. And if you're on the lead lap, even if you're about to be overtaken by the leaders, it is not your job to get out of the way. It is your job to hold a steady line.
70 laps to go when the leaders cross the stripe the next time by. Cameron, Lacroix, and Ranger. We've seen this play out a few times already this season.
We certainly have. 3 hot drivers out there. Cameron again is cleared lap traffic. He's got a little ways to go out his windshield before we encounter any more. But when he does get to the next batch of lap traffic, it is a gnarly one.
Yeah, and then you got guys who are slower than the leaders, but then you have other guys who are way off the pace, and when they line up side by side, it's treacherous.
Kevin Lacroix now finally gets around Dexter Stacy. That's allowed Marc-Antoine Cameron to drive away a little bit. Cameron to the inside of Glenn Stiers to put the 0 machine another lap down. Kevin Lacroix will move up behind the 0. He'll go to the inside in 1 and 2.
Battle out there is still between Kennington and Donald Teach for 4th. They're on the back straightaway, a long way behind the leaders, who have really put a lot of these cars behind them.
Yeah, they're laying down some big laps right now. We're down to 8 cars on the lead lap. And the driver in the 8th spot is Brandon Watson in that number 9. Close quarters racing right now with DJ Kennington in the 4th spot. Donald Teach is 5th. He's closing the gap on that number 17 to make it a battle.
They have really closed that gap up quite a lot. Nobody around them to give them any trouble, so they're free to race how they need to race each other right now.
The top 3 were right nose to tail a couple of laps ago. Now they've got some gap. 8 car lengths between Marc-Antoine Cameron and Kevin Lacroix in the 2nd spot. Another 8 car lengths back to Andrew Ranger in 3rd as we continue to click away laps. It'll be 240 laps complete this time when Cameron crosses the stripe.
And now Lacroix has faded back a bit from that 96 car. With 60 laps to go, Cameron trying to put the gap on that he can drive this one home. Still a long way to go, though.
A lot of racing still to come. A lot of these cars, the handling is going to continue to change as the sun goes down.
Lights coming on the speedway as we get later on in the evening. Cameron, Lacroix, and Ranger the top 3. Kennington, Teach, Dumoulin, top 6. Clute, Watson, Stacy, and Krizik are the top 10.
Kennington way up the racetrack as Trayton Lapsevich went by. He gets down before Donald Teach could drive to the inside, but that was almost opportunity for the driver of that number 80.
Looking out for the leaders, and it's still Cameron, but Lacroix has not faded at all. He's still only 3 car lengths in the back. And as the leader gets up to the rear end of Lassard and Watson, this may be the shot for Lacroix to take a move.
Yeah, these are going to be tough passes to make. Raphael Lassard probably won't put up a huge fight in that number 8, but Brandon Watson wants to stay on the lead lap. So does Gary Clute. And those are cars that Marc-Antoine Cameron is about to close in on.
Cars still putting laps on the board as quickly as they can. We're closing in on 50 to go. Just a few more twists around the speedway here. It'll be the big 5-0.
LP Dumoulin closing in on that battle for the 4th spot. DJ Kennington in 4th in the 17, Donald Teach 5th in the 80, and then LP Dumoulin 6th in the 47, but he's got some slower traffic out there between himself and the 80 of Teach, and right behind this pack is the race leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Coming up on the back door here of the Watson 9. Looks to the bottom there. Watson going to do his best to stay on the lead lap.
I imagine Brandon Watson's going to glue himself to the bottom of the racetrack. So if Marc-Antoine Cameron wants to go around, he's going to have to do it the hard way.
Watson working on the back bumper here of the Bergeron 1. Stiers will move up out of the way, and the leaders start to put heat on the Watson 9.
Watson trying to make a move on JP Bergeron in the number 1. Just ahead of them, LP Dumoulin doing battle with Gary Clute. Things are getting heated up right in front of the race leader.
Down the back chute. Field goes with a whole bunch of mess right in front of them. Watson and Bergeron right there. And Cameron doesn't know where to go. So he's got the dodge of Dumoulin stuck on his right side.
Bergeron is laps down, but he's got lots of speed as he works around Gary Clute. Brandon Watson picked up a position when he passed LP Dumoulin. Now he's picking up another one, passing Gary Clute. Life is good right now for the 9 of Brandon Watson.
Trying to migrate back up. I mean, after that wreck, a top 5 would be a great finish for Watson, considering he could have very easily been totally out.
He's got a lot of speed right now in that number 9, and he's working the inside. He's not going to give up that bottom, trying to make a move on Bergeron. There is slower traffic up ahead, though.
Boy, Tagliani is so slow off these turns.
Yeah, not up to speed at all. Look at this rat's nest in front of the race leader. Krizik trying to get to the inside of Wallace Stacy. JP Bergeron up the racetrack. That'll allow Brandon Watson to the inside.
And Cameron has had enough of Watson. He has jacked him up out of 2, all the way down the back straightaway and into turn 3 and 4. Gets off him again. Now he applies the bumper once more.
Now Kevin Lacroix looking to the outside. Look at these battles amongst the leaders. 3 wide in turn number 3. Wallace Stacy.
Oh!
Oh, trouble. Kevin Lacroix goes around off the front bumper of Andrew Ranger.
But there was a lot going on there.
Brandon Watson just drove his tail off to stay on the lead lap, and I believe he got what he wanted. And Brandon Watson did nothing wrong in that exchange. His job is to hold a predictable line, and he was doing that. He was running around the bottom of the racetrack, and he was able to keep enough speed that Cameron, if he wanted to put him a lap down, he was going to have to go to the outside.
I don't think there's many guys as consistent.
4 wide almost.
They had to get out. Wallace Stacy was real slow when that pack came through that turn. That kind of just made everybody go haywire.
Driver who got a big break there was Kevin Lacroix, because they could have very well not gone yellow for that.
Or he got turned into that 6-foot concrete wall that's on the inside. And that is a beast of a wall that protects the crews.
Race fans, let's take you through a field rundown. Marc-Antoine Cameron in the lead in the 96. Andrew Ranger is second in the 27. 17 of DJ Kennington is third. The 80 of Donald Teach is fourth. The 9 of Brandon Watson is fifth. They're going to have to make an adjustment. Because Kevin Lacroix, by going through the grass, would not have triggered timing and scoring.
Got ya.
So Kevin Lacroix runs in the 3rd spot. By NASCAR rule, you don't go to the back if you bring out a yellow. You fall in line wherever you got back up to caution speed. So Kevin Lacroix is 3rd. DJ Kennington is 4th in the 17. The 80 of Donald T just 5th. Brandon Watson is 6th on the lead lap. LP Dumoulin is 7th.
Look at the leader, Adam. All kinds of right side damage on that car now.
Gary Clute is in position to get the free. Okay, they go back to the last completed lap, which puts LP Dumoulin back on the lead lap and gives Gary Clute the free pass. So 8 cars on the lead lap when we go back, and you are right. Marc-Antoine Cameron, a little bit worse for wear in that 96.
Boy, we are setting up a fast 35 to finish off this one in the Bear 300.
It's a Saturday night special now, Clint.
And we got some awesome Saturday night drivers here. A lot of these guys could be your pick at your hometown track.
Did you just wave it? My dad used to do that.
You can't put your water near all the electronics like that. One bad move and we're dead.
That's your phone, that's my phone.
Oh, I don't care about the phones. I'm more worried about all the streaming equipment on the desk. They pour it on me.
What a show.
I'd rather have you do that than have the truck kick my butt.
So going further through the field, Jamie Krizik is 9th, 1 lap down. Dexter Stacey is 10th, 1 lap down. Mark Dilley is 11th, 2 laps down. Then it's JP Bergeron, 12th, 3 laps down, and he's been behind the 8 ball since the very start of this race when he didn't draw yellow. Wallace Stacey is 13th, Chantel Kalika is 14th. Glenn Stiers is 15th, Rafael Lassard is 16th, Trenton Lapsevich is 17th, Alex Tagliani is 18th. Out of the race in 19th is Brian Cathcart, and 20th, Brett Taylor.
Well, this sets up a beauty. 34 to go. Unofficially here, 33 when they cross the line. I want to thank everybody here from Edmonton International Raceway for the hospitality day. We've been treated awesome here.
I'm not sure what just happened. Gary Clute was up in the free pass position. Now he is back.
Well, wouldn't he be in 8th? That's where his spot should be if he took the free pass.
Yeah, but he should still be behind the caution car, and if not, he should be at the tail end of the field. So LP Dumoulin, I'm not going to try to figure it out. LP Dumoulin runs 7th on the lead lap. Gary Clute runs 8th, 1 lap down. And LP Dumoulin will restart at the back, so he is the free pass car. I need my voice to last 31 more laps.
Ah, you'll make it, bud. You'll make it. So LP was waiting for the 18 to drive by, but 18 is going to be half speed, so they're not going to make him start behind the 18 by the looks of it.
Andrew Ranger in that 27 has not been a factor at the front of this field until just now. Marc-Antoine Cameron continues to lead this race. We're about to go back to green.
Into one they go, teammates side by side. And you know, we've talked to them, Adam. They are two almost totally different entities.
The cars look the same, but the teams are run completely separately.
So no team orders here for this. And Ranger gonna try and work on the Cameron 96. Marc-Antoine Cameron, a winner in Newfoundland, getting it done there and picked up the Codfish Trophy.
We're also going to see if Kevin Lacroix holds a grudge towards that yellow flag. There was so much going on, I don't know if he'd be angry with Andrew Ranger for the contact, but we're about to find out.
Lacroix trying to get to the back bumper of the Paye Chevrolet of Lacroix, who got a bit loose off of 2 that time.
Yeah, Ranger's car is very loose in turn 2, but look at this. Nobody is getting away. The top 6 run nose to tail.
Top 3 is where the battle's at right now. But DJ Kennington running around in position number 4. Tej is 5th.
Cameron is not getting off turn 4. Andrew Ranger is not getting off turn 2. Watch what happens in turn 4. Ranger gets such a run. He's all over the back end of Cameron.
You know, we say you got to be there at the end. He's just learning, trying to figure out maybe where he can be better than that 96 when the time comes to make the move. If you make it now, you're a sitting duck for a bump and run later.
Yeah, possibly, but Andrew Ranger knows Kevin Lacroix is not going to sit in third. Kevin Lacroix is on the move. Andrew Ranger has to be aggressive. If there's a move to be made, he's got to make it.
Cameron still looking good, gapping the second place driver by a car length into turn number 1.
Donald Teach up to the 4th spot, moves DJ Kennington back to 5th. Brandon Watson trying to move him back to 6th.
Watson sees the line he needs, and Teach is teasing him up the inside, dangling it out there for him to jump into.
Now Cameron has pulled away a car length and a half over Andrew Ranger. Kevin Lacroix keeping the pressure on the Ranger 27.
Oh.
Kevin Lacroix looks to the inside.
He got him jacked up early there on the straightaway. And Rangers got the bullseye, playing it on the back of the 74.
I think even Andrew Ranger knows if you want to hit Kevin Lacroix, don't do it now. You need for Marc-Antoine Cameron to feel the pressure.
Marc-Antoine Cameron loves this as he's streaking away more and more.
How about the driver in 4th? Brandon Watson in that number 9 machine takes up the 4th spot. Can he close in on the lead trio?
20 laps to go as they work their way by now. 19, 18 to go. This one quickly coming to an end.
Yeah, laps winding down. 17 laps to go this time for Marc-Antoine Cameron. The lead over Kevin Lacroix is a couple of car lengths, and Kevin Lacroix is faster. Kevin Lacroix is a 1/10 of a second faster a lap right now. He will close in on Cameron, and Marc-Antoine Cameron is going to have to keep an eye on that rear view mirror.
Also going to have to go up to the high side to get around Tagliani, and that's going to give a bit of an advantage back to the 74. They caught him at the right spot, that it didn't cost either driver.
Cameron's got to hit his marks. He's got to try to avoid looking in the rearview mirror, but it's damn near impossible because he knows Kevin Lacroix is coming, and if he gets there, he has no problem being aggressive.
Lacroix, though, not close enough to put any heat on the Cameron machine yet as he pulls up on the back end of Chantal Kalika one more time. Rangers faded back a long way, so has Watson. Kennington holds on to 5th.
Yeah, Marc-Antoine Cameron was the fastest car that lap, so he's got the speed in that 96. But there's going to be more lap traffic if Kevin Lacroix can keep him in his sights. Easier said than done.
Cameron with a bigger advantage this lap. Things are quickly going away. When they come by the line next time, it will be 2 handfuls and 10 to go.
Andrew Ranger to the inside of Chantal Kalika, but Brandon Watson closing the gap for the 3rd spot. Watson in that number 9. He has been to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
Shown he knows how to get it done here.
We've got another rear end going. You can smell it.
Yeah. I'm with you. We start looking for the fluid. Who could it be that's got the problem?
Sometimes the fluid doesn't come out when you smell it like that. Sometimes it's cooking inside the rear end, and what it'll do is seize up and fail.
Don't see anybody with issues. Cameron right up to the wall. That time he nearly put it in the fence to work around the Stacy 66.
He's getting all he can get right now in that 96 machine. Goes around the outside of Wallace Stacy. He'll close in on Tagliani and Glenn's tires. They were too wide for a moment. Now they're back to single file.
Solid drive for Stires today. He making all the laps, looking good. The car's in one piece. A good learning day for Glenn.
Look at Kevin Lacroix close the gap. Still Cameron couldn't quite close the door on Glenn's tires. That allowed Kevin Lacroix to close in. The smell, oh! Brandon Watson goes around.
Just got into the back of Watson, I think, and turned him around. I didn't see it, I just caught the end of it, but I wouldn't doubt it if that was the payback.
You look at the damage on the 9, the left rear quarter panel. That shows all the signs of someone who just got hit. Now, Brandon Watson might be upset, but he is still on the lead lap.
Watson.
Look at the crowd. The local announcer getting this crowd wound up. The crowd didn't need a whole lot of help. They have been boisterous.
So Tagliani has not pulled away. Neither has the 18. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Tagliani just got him.
That was just dirty. I'm sorry, but you're 20 laps down, and you're wrecking a guy in the top 5. Sad. It's sad.
NASCAR official right up in the window of the 18 of Tagliani.
We should park him.
His night's done. Whether they park him or not, there's too much damage to that race car.
I mean, I don't mean to come down on Tagliani, but obviously felt he had to pay back Watson for that one.
And I don't
see it. Here we get a look at it.
Oh, we're going to have a great view. I mean, you can see
So he watched him go by and steps on the gas and just flat out drums him.
And finishes him. It wasn't that much different than their first accident together. So I'm not sure. And we'll talk to Alex before Wednesday night and get his take. As the red flag flies, they want to get the track cleaned up. They don't want to burn laps off. So my timing and scoring stopped working. We are going to go to NASCAR overtime.
Says 2:98 on the board with 2 laps to go.
So at this point, it really doesn't matter. The red flag is unnecessary because you're already going to overtime. It's going to be a green-white checker finish.
Kevin, we have a chance here to catch up, brother. It's been a fun one.
So tough end of that one. And it's a lot. That is the kind of retaliation, Clinton, that demands payback.
Yeah.
Brandon Watson's a short track racer. This is what he does. So Tagliani getting him back in that fashion. They're not on even terms. Tagliani is many laps down. Brandon Watson's battling for a top finish. When it's mono versus mono, you're on even ground. You're both on the lead lap or you're both laps down. You settle things, you get it over with. It's a different flavor when someone's many laps down and kind of ruins your day because it always invites turnabout.
I think I've said enough.
No, for sure, for sure. And it's a choice. These drivers have decisions to make. It is a short track race. Tempers are going to flare. We knew that was going to happen tonight. Looks like Tagliani is out of the car. They'll usher him over to the safety truck as he has a look at the damage on the right side. I'll tell you who's not happy. Scott Steckley's not happy.
He's got a lot of wrecked cars out there.
They got to fix that race car by Wednesday night to go and compete at Saskatoon.
Tagliani is out of the car. He's okay. Let's hear it for Alex Tagliani, guys.
And the fans are of mixed emotion on how they feel about Alex Tagliani being out of that race.
And unfortunately going to end up 2 laps shy of the full distance, but hats off to number 18.
Thankfully, Brandon Watson able to continue. And as I say, tune in Wednesday night. We will talk to both Brandon Watson and Alex Tagliani. We'll get their thoughts on what transpired tonight. But more than that, we'll get Brandon Watson's thoughts on what he sees going forward. Sometimes drivers will tell you.
Are you saying, did you write something on your dashboard there, Brandon? Well, I mean, we have mixed emotions about incident number 1 between them.
Yes.
I don't think Watson was 100% at fault or did anything dirty to warrant that second takeout.
Right. And I don't think Alex was 100% at fault. Like I don't know where the blame
it wasn't
lies.
Blatantly black and white enough for that to happen 20 laps down or however many laps he's down.
You know, I'll tell you what. This is the sort of thing, like this is the sort of hard-nosed racing we've seen out of, say, a Donald Teague in the 80, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix over the years. Donald Teague said to me before the race, Adam, I need a solid result. I'm going to keep my head on. I want to have something I can race with at the end of this race. We've got to tip our hats to Donald Teague, the driver of that 80 machine. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. You can still read the General Tire stickers on the outside of that car, which means he hasn't rubbed up with anybody in the second half of this race. We can watch for a big finish from the 80 car.
Right in front of him, in front of our vantage point, sitting right in front of us is Castrol Edge Dodge DJ Kennington. That car looks like it's showroom perfect, Adam. It just needs a wash. I don't see anything but a bit of dust on it.
DJ is a very clean race car driver. Beyond
Also a
that,
veteran who knows what the work he doesn't want to do between now and Wednesday as well.
DJ hates doing body work.
There you go.
Hates doing body work.
Well, as it sits right now, you're doing all right, DJ, and hope we didn't jinx you.
Well, you never know. I mean, he's going to restart fourth, which is about as bad a spot as you can restart.
So they're trying to lift up the Tagliani 18 as we see on our screen here.
A lot of damage to the front end of that car, which means the pieces you would want to use to pick it up with would be badly damaged as well.
Well, we got a quick moment. Let's take our final break and we'll bring you back for NASCAR Overtime to wrap up the Bear 300 live from Edmonton International Speedway here in Wetaskiwin, Alberta. Welcome back to Edmonton International Raceway with Wetaskiwin, Alberta here as we get ready for the final few laps here in the Bear 300. NASCAR Pinty Series live. What a great day it's been.
They're doing the wave in the grandstands down here, and it extended all the way into the suites in turn number 1. Gary Clute in the 59 rejoining the field. I believe he's the free pass driver. Oh dear, green, white, checkered. So Gary Clute will have to start all the way at the back of the field. For now, he's a non-factor unless a yellow comes out. A yellow may very likely come out. Players in this green-white checker: Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96, 74 Kevin Lacroix, the 27 Andrew Ranger, the 17 DJ Kennington, the 80 of Donald Teege, the 47 of LP Dumoulin, the 9 of Brandon Watson. Those are your lead lap cars starting at the front. Those are the players all looking to finish on the podium.
You can smell the rear end grease though, Adam. Somebody has a problem on the rear end.
The DJ Kennington number 17 crew looks as though they're getting ready to conduct a pit stop. So we might have problems on the 17 of DJ Kennington. We'll keep an eye to see if he makes the hard left turn. No, he is not coming into the pits, but those crew members have an air gun in hand while other crews are putting their equipment away.
I think they know what could happen at these green-white checkers, Adam, and when you're in that position with so few cars on the lead lap, they want to be ready. Either that or they were given the impact gun salute as he drove by.
Trayton Lapsevich coming down pit road. He is laps down. And they might be in a position where they're just cutting their losses. No point in putting your car at risk if they can't gain any more spots or lose any more spots.
Good point.
One to go, folks.
They pull the hood pins on the 20 and get to work. And yes, Kennington in, Adam. Problems on the right rear.
On the one to go signal, why did they not come in the lap before?
Could the pits might not have been open?
Anything is possible, but DJ Kennington back on the racetrack. He has got to hustle to catch the field. Tough break for the Castrol Edge Dodge. Fortune for Donald Teege, LP Dumoulin, and Brandon Watson.
Green is out. We are in NASCAR overtime.
Down into 1 and 2. Cameron hits his marks. Kevin Lacroix holds him down. Andrew Ranger looked to the inside for a moment. Lacroix with a good run to the high side.
White flag is out, last time into 1 and 2. Door to door, onto the back, straight away they go. Cameron with the advantage.
Marc-Antoine Cameron edges out in front. Through 3 and 4 they go. Who's it gonna be? Marc-Antoine Cameron wins the Bayer 300. Kevin Lacroix second. Andrew Ranger third. LB Dumoulin fourth. Donald Teach rounds out the top 5. What a show here in Alberta. I'm heading to Victory Lane.
All right, Adam, you go down there. We will wrap things up here. And what an exciting finish to the Bear 300 here in Wetaskiwin, Alberta at Edmonton International Raceway. Marc-Antoine Cameron will pick up his second short track oval win in a row. Last winner in Newfoundland. And he will make his way around back to Victory Lane, where Adam Ross will greet him to have a word with our winner here tonight. The dominant car by far all season long. Cameron came into tonight 3 points behind Kevin Lacroix, so it is going to be very tight when we get to Saskatoon on Wednesday for the Twin 125 presented by Leland Industries. Marc-Antoine Cameron will get the checkered flag and take a quick victory lap here in the Paille Chevrolet. A little bit worse for wear, but still the quickest machine out there at the end when it counted. They will get Victory Lane assembled, and we'll get a quick word with Marc-Antoine Cameron as he makes his way back to Victory Lane. Out of turn number 4, nice slow victory lap for what we believe will be the new points leader going into Saskatoon on Wednesday. They get everything assembled down there. They'll get ready to bring Marc-Antoine Cameron out of the car here to a nice cold drink and a celebration here out west. Now keep an eye on this. They're not taking a water bottle. They're taking the whole cooler of ice to dump on them. So this could be a bit of a show here. And the crew going to sneak up from behind the barrier and dump it on him. And I don't even think he knows it's coming. This is going to be a good one.
in there and get his word as soon as they're done with Todd Lewis from TSN. Adam's going to jump in there, and we'll hear from the winner.
Mark Antoine Cameron, come on up here. What a day it's been, you know. Great day. You get the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. You had both of those almost the same day. Not really what it made me feel. Inside the car, you think they would treat you fair. But no, I got a pretty good reason. There you go. Mark
All right, that'll do it here